The US government has at last conceded that UFOs are real. Sort of. This previous week, the US Naval Force affirmed that few recordings, two of which were first delivered by the New York Times in 2017 portraying supposed, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, are true. The three recordings, another was subsequently distributed by the Washington Post, each portraying speedy moving oval-formed articles, were shot by Navy pilots during preparing practices in 2004 and 2015. The Navy presently can't seem to distinguish the items in the video, and alongside the Department of Defense, said the recordings ought to have never been unveiled. This substance is imported from YouTube. You might have the option to track down a similar substance in another configuration, or you might have the option to discover more data, at their site. While a UAP might be a new term, that is somewhat the point. UAPs are basically the new UFO, yet with much less verifiable stuff. A Navy representative revealed to the Washington Post that the abbreviation UFO conveys such an excess of disgrace that it deters somebody from announcing or locating. That term is so stacked now, that you are never going to change individuals' comprehension of what it implies. Writer Leslie Kean, who co-composed the 2017 New York Times examination concerning the Pentagon's UFO, or UAP, program, discloses to Popular Mechanics. There's nothing left but to receive another one. Yet, people didn't simply begin seeing UFOs dashing around over our heads in only the previous few weeks, or in 2015, 2004, 1947, or even 1639. People have seen and experienced unidentified flying items for centuries. Unidentified flying articles have been recorded all through mankind's set of experiences. The lone thing that is changed is the means by which individuals, extended across millennia, have deciphered these unexplainable occasions. Catholicism, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and every one of the significant religions really have pictures and accounts of aerial wonder. Diana Walsh Pasulka, creator of American Cosmic, UFOs, Religion, Technology and an educator of theory and religion at UNC Wilmington discloses to Popular Mechanics. Some of them were comets, space rocks, meteors, and other climatic optical marvels that were deductively obscure to our old predecessors, yet others actually challenge present-day clarifications. Pasulka clarifies in virtually every religion, there are contact occasions, where a significant figure connects with a wonderful figure. Moses and the consuming shrub, Muhammad and the holy messenger Gabriel, and the Virgin Mary's own heavenly appearance. At the point when religion is a lens to explain the universe, unexplainable phenomena can become religion. These are humans' first contact with something they decipher to not be human or of this planet. What's more, in the event that they are not of this planet, they are true extraterrestrial. Pasulka says the Torah's story of Jacob's battle with a holy messenger is a genuine illustration of an experience with elevated marvel that was transformed into a strict account. At the point when you return to the first source and read it in its unique language, it wouldn't look like what the drawing of it are in Western history, says Pasulka, it would resemble he's battling some sort of being from space. Pasulka isn't saying that a scriptural figure battled an outsider and it transformed into a strict book, however that vision of a figure plunging from the sky might have come from a common, human experience or perception. At the point when religion is a focal point to clarify the universe, unexplainable marvels can become religion. The era of airships. In his 2010 book Wonders in the Sky, Unexplained Aerial Objects from Antiquity to Modern Times, French architect and space expert Jacques Vallée investigates 500 recorded reports of elevated marvel sightings. The book's most punctual locating, going back almost 3,500 years in current Sudan, is from a stellar, rock chunk, of Gebel Barkal that tells the story of how a falling star, the like had not occurred previously, struck down the Nubians in disgrace. For the Egyptian victors, it was viewed as a supernatural occurrence and profound intercession. These strange sightings spec mankind's set of experiences all through Vallée's book, coming full circle in a Wonders in Dubuque, Iowa, in 1879. It's an enormous, unexplained carrier that was apparent for an hour across the city before it vanished not too far off. Pasulka says by the late 19th century people started to move their understanding of the obscure from a strict system to an innovative one. All through the 19th and mid-20th century, what was occurring on Earth was saturating how we decipher what we found in the sky. In 1896 and 1897, secretive aircrafts were again apparently seen everywhere on the US, with numerous observers in any event, marking oaths. Indeed, even Thomas Edison said something by saying, "You can take it from me that it is an unadulterated fake." I have presumably that carriers will be effectively developed sooner rather than later, but it is totally difficult to envision that a man could build a fruitful aircraft and stay quiet about the matter. By the late 19th century, hydrogen-filled aircrafts were being developed, and a couple of years after the fact, in 1900, the primary Zeppelin would make its first trip. Whatever aeronautical wonder individuals in 1897 were seeing, it looked sufficient like a cutting-edge innovative wonder of the day, so that is the thing that it became. The dawn of the UFO. In November 1944, late into World War II, American military pilots began noticing orange, shining lights. Half a month later, one pilot saw a reddish, wingless stogie-shaped object. The pilots named these UFO contenders after a drivel expression utilized in a well-known animation about firemen, and, indeed, the band is named after this occurrence. The media got tightly to the story, and hypotheses weren't a long ways behind. Could they be optical hallucinations? Or then again a visualization from fight weariness? Or then again could these airborne wonders be super-secret Nazi weapons? The last hypothesis was what caught the public's consideration. All things considered, the pilots were flying in Axis region, and a lot of tales encompassed the Germans' preference for extraordinary science projects, similar to a Nazi lunar base for instance. Eventually, it was never settled precisely what these UFO warriors were, and a 1953 board would ultimately reason that it was likely an electrostatic or electromagnetic marvels. Be that as it may, June 24, 1947, would make a huge difference. While looking for a Marine Corps C-46 vehicle plane, experienced pilot Kenneth Arnold redirected from his unique flightway to help search the southwest slant of Mount Rainier. During the inquiry, Arnold noticed 9 curious-looking, and potentially totally round, objects flying in an arrangement that helped him to remember geese. It was subsequently assessed they were flying more than 1,000 miles each hour. At the point when he detailed it, and expecting they were another sort of stream or exploratory military airplane, the Army Air Corps excused it as an illusion or mind flight. In no time, others showed up to openly endorse Arnold, saying they saw a comparable flying marvel. Arnold, annoyed that the military excused his record, did interviews with neighborhood press. At the point when he portrayed to journalist Bill Beckett from the East Oregonian paper what he saw looked saucer-like, Beckett named them flying saucers. The first run through the term was at any point utilized. A couple of years after the fact, the expression UFO was authored by the Air Force. Noticeably utilized in the 1953 Robertson Panel report, the very board that excused UFO contenders, the abbreviation demonstrated deliberate in its absence of clearness. It should mean something unidentified. That is all. Full stop, says Keane. Also, it's a lovely sensible term to utilize. It could mean anything. The primary suspicion of what Arnold and others had seen from both the US military and general society was that it was the Soviets. The Cold War was rapidly heating up in 1953, and nuclear bomb testings, secret military activities, and develop of arms were all prospects. There was an entire inquiry regarding on the off chance that they were Russian, yet they discounted that pretty almost immediately in light of the limit complexity of the innovation, says Keane, who alongside detailing for the New York Times is the writer of the book UFOs, Generals, Pilots, and Government Officials Go on the Record. It was unbelievable that the Russians could have something like this. Because of these late 1940s sightings, the Air Force set up a mysterious task with the codename Sign to examine these episodes. However, the more the Air Force investigated, the more baffled they became. There are such countless records that show at the most significant levels, the US military didn't have the foggiest idea what they were, says Keene. As per her book, there was a split between the individuals who thought there was a more traditional answer, like a hallucination, characteristic wonders, mistake, or mystery military innovation, to the individuals who accepted these elevated marvels were not from this planet. A large group of sightings in July 1952, including over Washington, D.C., prompted the broadest confirmation that the U.S. government and military would make that there was undoubtedly a type of elevated marvels rising above U.S. airspace. With the venture presently being designated Blue Book, the FBI was advised by Major General John Samford's office, the head of knowledge for the Air Force. Some military officials are seriously considering the possibility of planetary ships. As Keene's book portrays, the Federal Bureau of Investigation was told by a part of the U.S. military that it was not totally outlandish that the articles located may potentially be ships from another planet, for example, Mars. Other FBI notices express that some tactical authorities are genuinely thinking about planetary boats. The genuine concern, regardless of on the off chance that they were Russians or extraterrestrials, was on the off chance that it was a danger to public safety. On July 29, 1952, Major General Samford held a question and answer session where he said that they investigated almost 2,000 reports and have had the option to enough record for a large portion of them. In any case, they were all the while investigating the couple of generally fantastic things that they couldn't clarify. In any case, they've had the option to arrive at one decision about these sightings, and that was, it doesn't contain any example of direction or of consistency that we can identify with any possible danger to the United States. I don't think they at any point trusted it was certifiably not a public safety danger. They simply didn't have the foggiest idea what else to do by then, says Keene. What are they going to tell individuals? They're simply not going to say, well, there's things zooming around in our sky that show innovation that we can't clarify. That's not something you need to declare to people in general. At the point when Robertson panel recorded its report in mid-1953, it arrived at two decisions about how to best arrangement with these sightings as it identified with people in general, preparing them to appropriately distinguish characteristic wonder, meteors, illusions, noctilucent mists, and human-made articles, climate inflatables, intelligent airplane, and exposing. What's more, that is actually how government specialists helped over 60 years. Through each locating, episode, report, unexplained event, from Roswell to Area 51 to 2006's O'Hare locating, the U.S. government and military has exposed or, similarly as regularly, stayed quiet, yet late occasions recommend another procedure in progress. What made the December 16, 2017, New York Times article so stunning wasn't that it had on record a few truly believable sources saying that the public authority had investigated UFOs as of late. That much could most likely be accepted dependent on the tactical's 1940s and 1950s history with them. It's what they've conceivably found and figured out since that time. The $22 million Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program formally ran for around 5 years, from 2007 to 2012. This much was recognized by the Pentagon, yet Luis Elizondo, who headed the program until his 2017 abdication, advised the Times that it kept on running past 2012. Around there, Elizondo said that the program had examined various UAPs, including the ones that the U.S. Naval Force affirmed were true. The program additionally contemplated actual impacts from experiences with the items, the innovation that could in principle do what those said they noticed, and the conceivable danger it presented to public safety. However, the most stunning point of interest is one that is a digit covered. The program recuperated materials from these UAPs. Keene says she accepts there's a ton going on in the background. She thinks research is being done on these recuperated materials to comprehend what they are, suggesting the way that the US may not be the solitary country possessing these materials, that there is a cryptic worldwide race related with them. From what I've been advised, it's something serious. Whoever comprehends the innovation initially enjoys a genuine benefit, says Keene. My feeling of it is that there's a propensity of contest among Russia, China, and the US. Sources have additionally revealed to her that the physical science of how these items move has, as of now, hypothetically, been broken. What they've sorted out is extremely advanced. It would be an exceptionally troublesome thing to replicate. However, they can see how it's finished. Scientists and clinical specialists are additionally endeavoring to comprehend the organic consequences for those people who've approached these marvels. Keane thinks the public authority is changing on how they manage these reports of airborne wonders. In this period of YouTube and mobile phone cameras, it's getting more normal to see these sorts of recordings. All things considered, more than 66% of Americans accept that the US government find out about UFOs than they are telling the general population. Keane is persuaded that there are unexplained airborne wonders, however not persuaded it's extraterrestrials. It's a legitimate speculation, yet I don't think briefly that we understand what it is, yet. Different theories and hypotheses out there incorporate interdimensions, people who goes back and forth through time, or a super unmistakable advantages or airplane created by another country on this planet. Even following quite a while of exploration, it's as yet an obscure. What was at one time a secret in antiquated occasions, stays a secret today. Eventually, Keane must be sure of a certain something. You are simply stayed with something that you can't clarify. Thanks for watching. Bye now.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Life is Often if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.